O mortals, though my laws have been as doormats beneath your feet, though through centuries you have turned not to face the light, I judge not, neither do I hold regrets, for all are given right to choose. Mortals, in this density of three, having not chosen me, now stand beneath the whip. Now face the rebound of their actions man has created. My laws are fixed. None can change the law of all infinity. One fulfills the law or faces judgment by the law, written in the light of each of my created beings. Having turned my laws about, now you are faced with your man creations in opposition to my law. So I gather up the scattered fruit, knowing that the bulk of my harvest has been lost to repetition upon repetition of errors, written in the history of mortals of this portion of me. I must brush off this contamination from my cloak, that I may hang it in my closet clean. Those who have failed for centuries to recognize my person within their being are forced by their actions to repetition once again. My heart, manifested by you, is sore, but I shall recover to bring about the density as many times as necessary, that my pattern shall be complete for each one of my parts. So it is, again and again, I cleanse my house. My love shall never fail. Everlasting light is man's by choice alone, and the choice I gave to him. I am the voice that manifests in every word you say. I am the sound in darkness to your ear that leads the way. You stumble on the path to me. You fail to see the light within that grows with every victory over self, the lower self, the animal self. To be a part of me, project the actions of me being you. Extend my love instilled within. Do unto others as I do to you. For I can only be through you. In the days ahead, dear esteemed viewer, perhaps you have already noticed in your own manner, your own fashion, in your own time, perhaps you have noticed that we are not alone. No, we're not alone. We are not alone. And perhaps you have seen news reports, UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, reports from the American Armed Forces and such. But firstly, we are not alone. And secondly, we are not alone. Thirdly, we are not alone. Now, my point with recent news coverage and all of this disclosure projects and many avenues and many vectors of disclosure is that this is a field of knowledge, an avenue of information that is potentially more of the same. And what I mean by that is there's much opportunity for deception and for furtherance of the old paradigm. And I want to make the point, what we're looking at right here is contactees from 1953, 65, who made contact with extraterrestrials, in this case, Venusians. But each of these individuals were contactees, and the opening to this video that I read was from this contactee here, George Van Tassel, his book, Council of Seven Lights, which is a very dear book for me, one that I've read countless times. Highly recommend it. It's called The Council of Seven Lights. But the point that I want to make with this video is, when you investigate and look into all of these individuals and their writings and their reports on contactees with the extraterrestrials, overwhelmingly, it all involves spiritual lessons and spiritual components. So I want to advise you in the days ahead to look for that component of information that engages your heart and your spiritual aspect to your discernment, to that divine truth discernment within you that we all have. That is our connection to our higher self, is the voice of our higher self. But all of these individuals and all of the information and all of their reports through their contacts with extraterrestrials, they all involve a very in-depth spiritual component. In fact, it's widely reported that Master Jesus is from a Palladian, seventh dimensional being. I won't go into all that stuff, but overwhelmingly, over and over again, all of these reports, these contactees, this information, going all the way back, starting in 1953, because the first that these reports, these UFO of flying saucers began to be reported was in 1947, roughly, and it was right after World War II with the setting off of atomics, and so it was like, that was a red flag to all of these surrounding extraterrestrial civilizations. And that was their message over and over again. It was like, whoa, hey, slow down, human race. Let's think about what's going on here. But that's the point that I'm making with this video, is that you will definitely see a distinction. That is how you tune. That is how you calibrate the parameters of your discernment. If this information is coming from the cabal, the deep state, the Illuminati, that seeks to perpetuate their enslavement of mankind through their various vectors, through their news outlet medias, which is all disinformation, Mockingbird, Project Mockingbird, CIA disinformation campaign, through their organized religion outlets, over and over again, this information will not resonate with your divine discernment. But I'm telling you, the true extraterrestrial, the true New Age, our true Christed ETs that do exist, that is how you will know them. It's through the purity and the light of their message. Not all is love and light, of course, but you will find that it's typically the power, the vested power apparatuses that are seeking to hold on to their enslavement, their power, the dark, negative, the negative aligned ETs. And that is how you will know if it's just the news outlets, your local news outlets is just talking about these cigar-shaped craft and all this, but there's no spiritual component to it. Well, that's just something that's meant to scare you and perhaps keep you set up for what they call Project Bluebeam, if there's going to be anything like that. I don't know, but if you follow always the inner discernment, and you continue to raise your vibration, which is the quality of your consciousness, as you connect more with your heart energies, the magnetism of the heart energies, and love, and expand your toroidal field of love, and that's how you raise your frequency, and you are thus at that point a cosmic beacon, and you will begin to make contact with these higher entities that are Christed. They are called Christed Extraterrestrials because they follow the path of the omniversal Christ template. And I want to share in particular with a alchemist that I like his work quite a bit, is Samael on Weor. And I'm going to read real quick just from one of these excerpts I took from his book called The Cosmic Ships. And this is describing a situation where he has made contact with a vessel, a ship, and this is his interaction with the captain of that ship. And it says, "Thus I obtained an answer. And as soon as they gave it to me, it is clear that I was satisfied. Along the way," said the captain, "we will see." Nothing more. That was the only thing that he said to me. But that for me was definitive. If an earthling had said the same to me, I would simply have considered those words like an escape, like an evasion. For example, as when one asks a job and they say to you, "We will consider you when there's a vacancy." When receiving such an earthling answer, one feels like leaving, running 500 kilometers per hour, since we can be sure that we have failed in the request. Yet I was not conversing with earthlings, but extraterrestrials. Along the way we will see. Which way was that captain talking about? The esoteric path of initiation, the path that I am following and that many are following, the path that leads to the Superman, that straight, narrow, and difficult path of which the Christ speaks, that mysterious path tread by Dante, Hermes Trismegistus, or Jesus of Nazareth. I follow such a path. Therefore, the words of that captain filled me with strength. And I hope they fill you with strength as well. And keep in mind in the days ahead that it is all light. The universe is omniverse, is composed of light. There are forces of darkness that are seeking to sidetrack and keep the elect from their path of election to the new earth. That's not you. Hit that subscribe button, leave this video's thumbs up, and stay tuned for further information, dissemination, broadcasts from the unbonded new earth ashram for compassion, strength, and the straight path of the Christed light. Namaste. Namaskaram.